Howdy. Today we're looking at one of the most underrated weapons in the entire game, the Quanta Vandal. It is a very old weapon, but a very strong weapon. And it's quite sexy looking too if you have the Obsidian skin, though I think this was only available on PlayStation. It is a laser beam that shoots two lasers at once, and it has an alt fire that shoots these little cubes, which you can detonate by shooting with the weapon's laser. Then they all explode. So let's look at the weapon's stats. It's a laser beam, obviously, like I said, 12 fire rate, a multi-shot of 2 because it has 2 laser beams, 80 mag, 22% crit chance, 2.4 crit multiplier, 45% status chance per projectile. That's a lot of status on a beam weapon. A lot of status, to say the least. 13 electricity, and because of the multi-shot, that puts it at 26 total damage, right? Base electric, which is actually quite nice, which you'll see soon. The blast attack, right? The explosion from the cubes, direct hits do electric, and the detonation does blast damage with a... Oh, wait, no, that is if they made... Oh, yeah, I forgot. That's if they automatically detonate. If they detonate from running out of time, they do almost nothing. I don't actually know the stats on the explosion when you manually detonate the cubes, though I'm pretty sure it's on the wiki, and it seems to do good damage. So, if you really need to see that, you can look it up. Right now, we're going to be focusing on the primary fire. No one touches this, so it has a dispo of 5. Very, very good. Now, we have a viral electric build. We're going to be building into electric because it's on the base weapon. Crit damage, crit chance, fire rate, and punch through because, punch through is nice. And if you don't have Prime Shred, Normal Shred works just fine. Galvanized Chamber, Galvanized Aptitude, which is additive on this weapon, I believe. Rhyme Rounds, Malignant Force for Viral, and High Voltage for Extra Electric and Status Chance. 162 status per projectile on a beam weapon. That's sitting at 16.2 fire rate. I'm sure you can see where this is going. Primary Deadhead, because it gives a headshot multiplier, which is multiplicative, and it's just way easier to build than Merciless, easy to keep up at max stacks all the time. And you can get it to proc from electric proc kills, right? If you get headshots for the electric procs and the damage over time kills them, it can proc Primary Deadhead, which is very nice. If you had the Exos slot, then I would go for Ammo Drum, or sorry, not Ammo Drum, Sinister Reach if you wanted extra range, but if you need more ammo, you can go Ammo Drum or Ammo Mutation. Up to you. Go whatever you like. Now, you could go for this instead. You could give up punch through and try to maximize your crit chance. Galvanized Scope is a good option, and then you could go reinforced bond on your pet to get the fire rate instead. But right now we'll be using Prime Shred. So this weapon, look, no pets, nothing affect. Oh wait, corrosive projection. Now there we go. Nothing affecting my damage. Okay. It's going to do some pretty great damage. Kill the enemies, reset them. This is just viral electric. No armor strip, no outside buffs, just the weapon. Now we are obviously going to need to build up our stacks because that's where all of our base damage is coming from, and you can see that our damage without it is not great. But do you see that over 200 electric procs already? 200. That's a lot. And we had shot just less than a mag, and I missed shots. So, I'm really bad at this game, as you can see. Headshots are not my forte. But we did manage to get the headshot kill. Now I have 1 stack of gun CO. With even 1 stack, you can see that's some good damage. And now we have 2 stacks of gun CO and 2 deadhead stacks. Our damage is just going up higher. And now that we're at 3 stacks of gun CO and our multi-shot is nearing its max. Look at this. This is electric procs, which normally do jack shit on armored enemies. Armored enemies are very hard to kill with electric procs. But look at that. Shoot them just for a little and they'll die 2 to 3 procs from the weapon. Beautiful. And when they're grouped up, because it's electric, it's just going to spread the electricity damage. Look at that damage. Incredible. And then if they were armor stripped, they're just gonna die instantly if they're armor stripped. You don't gotta worry about anything there. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, what about the explosive fire? It's not bad if enemies are grouped up and then you like detonate it all on them. If they don't have armor or they're weak armored enemies, or maybe it'll be better for the Jade Shadows, but right now it doesn't do huge damage against these guys. But the primary fire, oh yes. That's where all of our damage comes from. If you added in Roar, because Roar double dips on dots, then, well, obviously the electric is just going to get even more insane. Like, think about this. This is a weapon with no armor. This is electric procs. Nobody uses electric procs on big tanky armored enemies unless you're stripping them. And this is pulverizing them. Now let's say we added in grouping, because grouping makes electric procs be able to chain between each other. So we will switch to Rhino. We won't be using the damage buff, it's just because I have a snare on him, so we don't have to deal with Venari on Korra. If you were to ragdoll enemies with like air burst, that's actually better. That's going to give you more damage, because ragdoll body parts on enemies make it so all the lightning can chain multiple times from each body part. But that's annoying to have to deal with when testing. So we'll armor strip just so we can build up the first 2 stacks. Now, wait, I don't want to armor strip, I just want to pull them in. We don't even have all of our stacks up, but we can just start shooting into this crowd of enemies. And look at that. Beautiful. And that wasn't even max stacks. Now we're at max stacks. So let's see it again, and this time we'll have those extra 2 enemies, so we have the whole group to chain between each other. And again, ragdolled enemies would take much more damage. Look at this. No armor strip, corrupted heavy goods, electric box. Do I really need to like say why this is strong? The Quanta Vandal is one of the strongest primary weapons in the entire game, okay? This thing is absurdly strong. Yet nobody uses it. 45% status per projectile with 2 lasers on a beam weapon is insane. And it also just, listen to that sound. The noise it makes when it shoots is very, very satisfying. And you can always make the use of these cubes if you want, just because they're funny. Not the strongest thing in the game, but funny. And they can be good. Like I said, on armor strips. So if we were to go in and say, yah-yee, now they're armor strips, and then you just shoot a bunch of cubes above them, and then you start detonating them. Look, it killed, like, several of the enemies in the back here. Let's reload. Oh, I actually have no deadhead stacks anymore. That's going to affect our damage, sadly, but it still does decent damage. You can build it for something other than electric box, such as corrosive heat if you wanted. So let's say we wanted to do that. We can, also you can put on galvanized scope if you want more direct damage. So let's do that. Then we come here, Worm Prime. Fire rate from Reinforced Bond, extra crit damage from Tenacious Bond. Wait, I just switched the build by accident. Fuck. There we go. Now we come back over here. Getting the crit chance over here. So once we get enough headshot kills, we max out our crit chance at over 100%, just barely. So then, where is it? What was I building again? Oh, yeah. I remember now. Corrosive and heat. So we would switch this over here. And then we would put on, where is my hairbrush? Thermite rounds instead. Now, we do have a problem of our heat weighting being not optimal, to say the least. It would be way higher damage if you had something else here. Actually, it might help if I go here. Yeah, if you had unranked high voltage and malignant force, that would be better. But I don't. So to make up for that, we're actually going to go with Hellfire. And then instead of galvanized scope, I'm actually going to go with thermite rounds, right? But then we're going to have to switch these positions. Now we are sitting at 28.6 corrosive and 19.5 heats because the weapon has base electric. But this is still going to decimate the enemies, no problem. And we have lots of armor strip now. and it still has very good stats chance. My biggest problem with this, like heat-wise, is, well, I mean, look at it. It staggers enemies, which is annoying. And I'm not. Does heat proc Deadhead? No. Oh yeah, no. It looks like heat procs cannot proc Deadhead. Maybe if the first hit is a headshot and the rest are the last hit is. No, you can't proc Deadhead stacks. But look, look. This is without any arcane stacks, and I can't get consistent headshots. And our heat weighting is actually royally fucked. Considering all of that, this is very considerable damage, to say the least. This is like Phantasma almost level of status procs that can be applied. Very strong. It would be even more insane if it came with like base corrosive, so you could have or base viral, so that the lowest possible weighting, and you could build all in on elements. But alas, it is what it is. Though because it has a ribbon dispo of 5, you can get an insane ribbon on this. And it also does not require a high master rank, I don't believe. So if we link it, it is the Quanta Vandal. I believe I know how to spell it. We're gonna hope that I have big brain right now. Quanta Vandal, put it in brackets. It takes mastery rank 10. Yes, not bad, not bad at all. Now people be like, oh, you can use Tord. Well, guess what? Not everyone has Tord Incarnate, and maybe people are sick of Tord Incarnate. This is way easier to get. It's also takes a lower master rank, I'm guessing. Well, right? I don't know. I guess it depends on where you get the Incarnate weapons. But this is overall a much easier weapon to get. It's also more fun to play with, in my opinion, and you don't have to deal with the horrible base zoom, because I hate the low zoom on the Torrid. And you also don't have to charge the Incarnate. This thing's always ready to go. It's always in full throttle, ready to deal big PP damage. Now, before I go, I will show one more build, which will be Hunter Munitions. So we would take this off, this off, and I will take my pet back off for this, just so it's fair as a Hunter Moo build compared to other stuff. We switched to Merciless. We put on Prime Shred again. Then Hunter Munitions. Now we do only have 66% crit chance, so again, as I keep saying in all my videos, because I keep using low crit weapons, is Avenger would make the damage go up significantly, especially as far as consistency goes. This is actually the exact same build as the electric build, except we swapped out the electric 6060 mod, high voltage, for Hunter Munitions instead. I do prefer the electric build because it comes with the, extra added AoE that we get, and you can get Deadhead instead of Merciless since you can't proc Deadhead with Slash Box. But it's still not a bad option if you are, like, dedicated to Slash, but I don't think it's even going to do as much damage either, right? Yeah, look at this. This is less damage than the electric build, and Slash Box go through armor. So I would not recommend doing the Slash build, because the electric build is just so much better. Better in single target, significantly better in AoE, and after the armor changes in Jade Shadows, it's just going to become even juicier in comparison to Slash. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the Mutalist Quanta. If you enjoyed the video, then leave a like and subscribe, and adios.